So this is my wife's new Infiniti that we bought her. It does have a few issues. We bought it from a used car dealership, and as is always the case, there are several things wrong with it. When we agreed to buy it, there were a couple of things that were wrong they said they'd fix. It seems to be a new thing with garages now. They get a car in, they don't fix any of the issues, so you look at it and think, oh, this is wrong, that's wrong. And then they say, oh, okay, that's the idea, that's what we do. We don't fix them until someone has bought it. It does seem a bit crazy to me, and it does put you in a bit of an awkward situation, thinking to yourself, will they fix these things for me or not? And as we found, it seems to be not, seems to be the case. They've had a go, but they really haven't done very well for us. So I'll give you a bit of a walk around the car, and I'll explain kind of what's wrong, what's happened, and then we'll get to work with some stuff that I want to do today. When we looked at it, we noticed a couple of things that were wrong. If you've never seen one of these Infinitis before, they have keyless entry, but rather than being where you touch the handle or do something, you actually press a button to lock and unlock the car. But one of the first things we noticed with this car is that the puddle lamps are completely missing, and in fact they were hanging out when I looked at the car. Another thing we noticed is these rather weird things here that have been fitted to the door. They will come off. They've been put on probably to protect it, so they've kind of been put on in the best of intentions, but they do look a bit naff now. And what's the main concern is the fact that they seem to be going rusty here. It's just these, they're letting it down, they're looking very, very scruffy. So another thing that was wrong is the wheels. They were very, very scabby, but as you can see, they look nice now. They agreed to refurbish them, and they did a good job of that. You know, they're not immaculate, they're not as new, but they do really look a lot smarter. The only bad thing is, while doing that, they must have done something to one of the tyre pressure sensors, because now we've got a tyre pressure warning on the car. So when we went to look at the car, and we thought, yeah, we like this, we did what a lot of people do. We tried out every little gizmo, you know, the cruise control, the sunroof, everything. And the only thing we found that didn't work was the driver's side electric window didn't go up and down. All the other windows were fine, just that one. And obviously that's a kind of an important one, but the salesman straight away said, no, don't worry about that, we know about that, that will be fixed. And I did notice there was a window motor in the boot, so someone had either had a go before, or they bought that in preparation to fix it. So I wasn't sure that was a good or a bad thing, really. So we agreed to collect the car. I think it was just under a week later, and the idea is they were going to refurbish the wheels, which is something they offered to do. We never asked for that, but it's great. Yes, they smartened them up because they were a little bit scabby. They were going to fit the missing puddle light covers. They were going to fix the electric window, driver's side window, and they were also going to tidy up a couple of very minor areas of bodywork that I noticed. I'll be honest, I wasn't really bothered about, but the salesman said, oh, we'll sort this out. Really, it was this here, where the bumper very, very slightly doesn't line up properly, and there's clearly been some spray work, and there's a little bit of a paint issue here, very, very minor. I wasn't too worried about that being done. As it turned out, when we collected the car, they didn't do any of that. They didn't touch the bodywork. They did the wheels, great. They didn't fit the new puddle lamp covers, and they didn't fix the windows either. So my wife went to pick the car up. She kind of needed a car, so she just took it. And it still had loads of things that needed doing to it. So then, around about a week later, it went back again, and this time he said, yep, we'll definitely fix everything. They tried to fix the window, and then he said, no, we can't fix this. I think my wife went away for a few hours while they had a bit of a go. They ordered the wrong part, they hadn't been able to get the puddle light covers, and in the process they also smashed the trim on the driver's door, the wooden trim as well, which ended up looking awful. And I'll show you in a little bit. So this is the trim that they smashed. You can see it's flaking off here, and it's smashed here. And like when Lindsay first saw the car, she did question in her own mind, was it already like that? But then she just lightly touched it, and bits started to flake off and fall, and it became evident it has literally just been smashed. So thumbs down to the maintenance guys. They did not do a particularly good job on that. So just like with anyone, I'm sure, that didn't really fill us with confidence, but I did really want them to fix that. I didn't really want to end up doing it myself. So they agreed to pay for this trim, as long as we gave them some notice. They told us that it was something like £600 from a dealer and not stocked. I just assumed they'd go around and find a used one, but they didn't seem capable of doing that. They agreed to pay me the money for the puddle lamp covers as long as I gave sort of an idea of what the cost would be. I'll just buy some cheap ones. You know, they don't have to be. They're only puddle lamp covers. And then they agreed to fix the windows at a later date. So then the car went back another week and a half later, and they did fix the windows. Hooray! The only problem is now all the windows work, but if you operate the passenger side window, it operates the driver's window at the same time as well. So there's either a problem with maybe the switchgear here, or there might be a short in there, something, or it might be just something we've done wrong. We've kind of had enough of the garage now, so don't really want to be taking it back. So I ordered this trim myself. It cost me £100 for the piece of trim, but I'm going to replace that now. I'm going to fit the puddle lamp covers now, so that gets that done. And then in the process, I might just have a little bit of a look and see if I can figure out why the passenger window operates the driver's window, and see if I can work out whether it's likely to be this switchback or whether it's something much more serious. If it is more serious, really I need to take it back to them. So first things first, I'm going to try and remove this piece of trim and try and get it replaced. Unfortunately that does involve taking the whole door card off, but I've got the trusty set of pullers and whatever, plastic bits to try and do that safely. Once I've removed that, I can perhaps have a little bit of a look and see what I think about these switches as well. So I want to have these old sofa cushions I can put down, so if I remove something like this, they've got something to fall on, because I'm bound to drop them when I try and unplug everything. One of the first things to do is to remove this piece of trim in here. I can actually feel it's loose, so if I pull the handle out, there you go, it's just going to come falling out. It's not been put back in properly. And what that does is that reveals this bolt here that I've got to remove to get the door card off. The other place is going to be this little pocket down here. So considering there's people in here, it doesn't actually look that bad. Rip anything, so that's it, try and do it as carefully as I can. And again, that's just here just to release and reveal these two screws so I can get the door card off. After that it should come off. Interesting, there is also another fixing that should be here, but as you can see someone's already removed that. It's probably this very same guys that have caused this problem. So, first thing I'll do is get this bolt out. Easy enough with a 10mm socket. Whiz this out in no time. Next I'll take out these two screws in the door. Just whiz out nice and quickly. Now I've got all these screws off, I now need to pop all the little studs along the bottom, and then I can lift this door card away. So this is the bit I always hate. There's all these connectors and the thing's hanging in my hand. So I now very carefully get all these connectors off, and then I can let the thing drop onto this nice cushion I've got, and then just rest up against this door nice and neatly. So there we have it. So that's the door card off and resting neatly, and now I need to get this thing off. So before I go on, these are the cheap and cheerful puddle lights that I bought. I can see they are sort of a complete assembly. So basically I've got to pop these out and basically just push this in. I've got these captured clips that should clip them in. It all looks quite simple. I actually think on reflection, because these look cheap and nasty, that this is probably what these are. Those are probably just some cheap sets that somebody's probably replaced it with, and the covers are probably broken off. It does seem odd that they're missing on all four sides, mine. But yeah, we'll see if we can get one of these fitted now. So this is the old puddle light. Basically I can see the spring clips here, so if I just sort of push them at both sides, I can push it out at the bottom. And that's come out nicely. And it actually doesn't look the same as the replacements I bought, so they probably were maybe this is an original. Looking at the assembly, it does look quite cheap and nasty. I can't see any Nissan logos on there or anything like that, so I have a feeling it is aftermarket, but it's obviously a different one. So this is the replacement, so we'll just see if we can just push it straight in at the bottom. So that would seem to be the way it goes. So what I'm just going to just push it in, click, and it's in. If I don't achieve anything else today, at least I've done something. So now I want to see if I can remove this trim here, and it looks like to me I need to remove some screws like this one here we can see, and some others that are holding it in. So I'm going to get some tools and I'm going to get cracking and see if I can remove enough screws to try and pop that piece out. And then what we have here is we have a nice new one that came from a Breakers, which does look absolutely immaculate. I'm very pleased with that. So then we'll pop this in, we'll get it fitted, and we'll see how it goes from there. So I've peeled back this insulation, and it's just amazing the number of screws that are holding on this plate on the other side. It really does show the quality of these cars. So we'll get the rest of those screws off then. Fit the new one. So one of the things I am really pleased to see is that this new piece of trim is probably better than the old one. The old one, let's just turn this light on here. The old one does appear to have sort of like some marking. I don't know whether that would remove or not, but it doesn't matter because the new one doesn't seem to have any of it. It seems to be pretty perfect, and they also do appear to be a pretty much identical colour match as well, which is absolutely great. So with that in mind, I can just fit this new bit.
Dad!
Hang on. Do you want to come in?
Yeah!
Oh. Come on then, monkey.
Aston, come on! Yes. Aston too, Dad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You both coming in, are you?
This isn't going to shut.
No? There you go, it's closed. What are you doing in here then?
What are you doing?
Daddy's fixing Mummy's car.
Why do you have the camera here?
So I can video what's going on.
Why?
So I can.
Oh. I'm going to watch you.
Okay. Don't you touch that.
I didn't. I just accidentally knocked into it. Do you want me to make it a bit higher?
No, I don't want you to touch it.
Okay.
Stop being silly. What, Spencer?
Towel.
Pardon?
He was hitting me with that towel.
He's hitting you with a towel.
Yeah.
I think you'll survive. Aston, put that down. That's not a toy. So with the ignition powered on, straight away we can see this new logos that we have. So cheap new Puddle lamps have done the trick. But something more interesting I wanted to try is, first of all, do the windows go up and down? And if I do the driver's switch, yep, windows go up and down like they should. If I try the passenger switch,
Okay.
both the passenger and the driver's side windows go up and down though.
And it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, down.
Yes, it does.
Up and
So
down.
there's something wrong. But what I'm thinking is, if I tried the switch over there, if that switch only does that window, then that suggests it's more likely it's a problem with this switch gear, which I think it is. I wonder if someone's just got moisture inside it or something. I did inspect all the cables while I had the door card off and they all looked fine, and I decided not to pry any further. So, Aston, can you try that switch? Right, so it's doing that window, but it's not doing that one. So that's suggesting it's this module here. That's good enough logic for me. I think it's worth a try.
That way. Screw.
No, get the screwdrivers away from it. We don't want to dig at this with screwdrivers. So what we need to do is Daddy needs to pop this out.
Yep.
These poppers.
Why do you need to pop it out?
So we can remove it. And then we need to lift it off.
Oh, that one we need a screwdriver.
And then we're going to need to take this away to try and get to this piece here. I think this is going to be broken.
I got the screwdriver.
Turn the ignition off. Right, so I think what we'll do is we'll unplug all these connectors first.
Yep. This is what we're doing right now.
You're a monkey, actually.
So we're gonna be screwing it out in a minute after we've done this. So keep watching, everybody. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, watching. What? How about if you try
Don't tread on it.
to put one in and the other one? What's going beeping then?
Because there's quite a few screws to remove here and it's not easy to get this out,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave this for today because at least we can fix the puddle lamps and fix the rest of the car. The main things we're going to fix, and this can come out another day, and I can then also have a look and see if I can find one of these to purchase. So let's look at the number and get the number off of it, because it could be they're not very expensive, and then we'll just purchase one and we'll have one ready to swap out, because I suspect it's this piece of switchgear here that's wrong. That's done. So that's the part number. That's what I need. Boys! So that's the part number I need. If I want to replace the switch module, I'll see how readily available they are. Are you two staying in here now then?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this back together.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this back together.
Yeah.
And then we'll replace the other puddle lamps.
Yeah.
And then we'll do something else on this car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do. Okay?
Now we've done a relatively good job sorting out the trim here, and a little puddle light, and having a bit of an investigation into this. I'm just going to get the rest of the puddle lights fitted, and then we'll move on to something else.
Want me to screw something out?
No, look at you going out. So, this puddle light also appears to be broken.
Yeah.
And that's a bulb rather than LED, judging by how hot it is. Don't you go in there with your whirly boots on. Out. Out, your boots on. Out. No, you're not climbing around the cars.
Hey, well.
It looks like I can get a screwdriver up there and release these.
I've got a screwdriver. Need a screwdriver?
No, I need a flat screwdriver, thank you, Aston.
I'll go there.
Careful, because if you scratch me on the car with those, I'll be very annoyed. Maybe this one? Let's see.
Want me to get my hat? Want me for anything?
Yeah, there we go. Out. That's the old broken one out. Don't know why it's removed, missing its cover. Very strange. So I've got the new one here, which hopefully should just click in quite nice and easily. So I'll grab the cable,
I'm in my house.
push it in.
Do you want to come in my house? Yes, I'm coming. Hi.
Push and click.
Hi, Aston.
And that's it. And then we have another Infiniti logo being cast onto the floor. I'm quite pleased with those. So with two of these caps in, I might also fit these last two on the other two doors. You two are very noisy, you're making it very difficult. You two are very noisy. So the next thing I want to sort out now is these. So I absolutely think they're horrid. This wonderful they've been fitted, because they've probably reserved all of this and stopped it getting scratched. But because they've got metal in them, they're going rusty. So I want to remove all of these, give all of this a clean, a wipe down, and then hopefully go goodbye rust. So they easily peel off. No worries there. See that lovely lettering on the bottom. I'm really pleased with those. So that's that off. Horrible, filthy looking thing. But that has, of course, left a mucky, filthy line all around the door. So we'll have to get a cloth and some spray and clean that off. Now to start with, I don't need to use anything too heavy duty. So I have this spray degreaser. What I'm basically going to do is I am just spraying it on my cloth quite liberally. I'm just going to wipe it over. You see it's beautifully just fading it away. And what it is pleasing to see is, the good thing about this is these door ends are absolutely immaculate. Now we don't need those anymore. You're going to put them in the bin, are you? Good boy, thank you. The black bin. Now I've got the cloth and the cleaner out and gave this old one a clean, and it's just really for my own interest, because it's interesting to look at it. It's mainly interesting to me to have a look at it and just see how badly damaged and scratched it is from the monkeys who were trying to remove it at the garage. Not only have they obliterated it and smashed it, but they've scratched it down trying to get it out. They really had no clue. It only took a quick minute to look it up on YouTube and find a video of how to do it correctly, or just buy the Infiniti manual that you can also buy online for next to nothing. But this is your average idiot at the garage. They just wrench at everything until they break it.
You're my heartbeat, my silent drum that is kicking me till